according to population size. First doses have been administered now to 151,000 people in Northern Ireland, 358,000 in Scotland, and 212,000 in Wales. And I'm glad that the government of the UK, the whole of the UK, is able to assist the devolved administrations in deploying the vaccine, and I know everyone across the country is grateful for the logistical skill of the British Army. There is much more to do, and the target remains very stretching indeed, but we remain on track to reach our goal of offering a first dose to everyone in the top 4 priority groups by the middle of February. And I want to thank all the doctors and nurses, especially at the GP-led sites, who are vaccinating at a phenomenal rate, as well as I say, as those in our armed forces, our local authorities, our pharmacies and volunteers who are making this extraordinary national effort possible. And I want to thank all of you who have come forward to get your jabs, because by doing that, you're protecting yourselves, your communities, and of course, our NHS. And I say to everyone, when that letter arrives, please don't hesitate to book that appointment and get this life-saving protection, because this is the best and fastest way for us all to defeat this virus and get our lives back to normal. I'm now going to ask Chris to do the slides.
Thank you, Prime Minister. First slide, please. So the first slide is the Office of National Statistics data showing the estimated number of people testing positive for COVID-19 in England. And that has been on a steady upward slope since the early part of December. But I'm glad to say that in the most recent data, there has been a turning of the corner on that, and the number of people with infections has gone down. But it has gone down from an exceptionally high level. And their most recent estimate is we're still at a stage in England where 1 in 55 people have the virus. So there is a definite signs of improvement, but from a very high level, remaining at a very high level, thanks to the extraordinary work that everybody has done together to make sure people stay at home when they do not need to go outside. Next slide, please. This then looks at the number of people in hospital with COVID in the UK, and it is increasing all the time, has been over the last several weeks, and is now at an extraordinarily high level, as the Prime Minister has just said, but there is now a sign of this beginning to flatten out. In some parts of England, particularly the southeast, east of England and London, there's now signs of some reduction in the numbers going to hospital, but at an incredibly high rate still. In other areas, there's still some increase in parts of the Midlands and the north of England, for example. But overall, there is now a flattening out, and we hope to see, following the reductions from a high level in the number of cases, the beginnings of a reduction of cases in hospital. But this will take some weeks to work through the system until we start to see significant falls in the numbers in hospital. NHS staff are working extraordinarily hard across the whole country because of the very, very large numbers of people in hospital with COVID. Next slide, please. And sadly, the number of people who have had a positive test for COVID and then died shortly afterwards is continuing to climb. And because this is later, this is a delayed effect, so people get infections, then they end up in hospital, get some more severely ill, and then sadly some of them die, most obviously recover. The number of people who are dying has been steadily increasing, and the most recent 7-day rolling average is over 1,000 deaths a day. So this is a very high rate, and it will take longer to come down and probably will go up over the next week because of the fact there's a delay between people going into hospital and some people sadly dying. I'll now hand over to Sir Patrick for some comments about the new variant.
Thank you very much. So there are 3 major variants of potential concern. The one that was first identified in the UK, one that was identified in South Africa, and one that was identified in Brazil, 3 countries, all of which sequence a lot and so pick these things up early. One that was identified in South Africa, and one